Hi, welcome to yoga. I'd like to take a minute before we start to introduce you to my co-workers who feature rather heavily in today's yoga. So this little Win. Hi Win. She just turned 1. And also here is Freddie. He doesn't like being picked up, so he's not going to hop up onto my knee to say hello. But he likes to wander around and show his face and join in. He likes to show his affection. It gets draining. You can see because my face gets really serious. Okay, so when you're ready to begin, come down to the ground. Come to a comfortable seated position. You can have your legs crossed or your feet out wide with the knees bent, resting the hands on the knees, palms up or palms down, as suits you. Then just take a moment to settle in. Move the fleshy part of the buttocks out of the way. Feel yourself present on the mat. Roll the shoulders up, back and down. Inhale to pull the crown of the head to the ceiling. Exhale to let the eyes gently close. And we'll begin by drawing our focus to the breath. Take a long, smooth inhale through the nose. An equally long, smooth exhale back out. Notice the natural rise and fall of the body with the breath. Then exaggerate that movement. Inhaling to let the belly swell up as though it's a balloon filling with air. Exhaling to draw the navel towards the spine, feeling an engagement through the muscles in the abdomen. Again, inhaling, feeling all 4 sides of the torso swell outwards as the lungs fill with air. Exhaling to draw the navel to the spine, feeling that core engagement. And then I'd like you to stick with that breath as you scan through the body from the crown of the head all the way down to the tips of the toes. Just take a moment to check in with how your body's feeling today. Noticing any little niggles, aches or pains, also any areas of comfort and areas of ease. From here we'll start with some gentle neck circles. So keeping the eyes closed, I'd like you to drop the chin towards the chest and just trace some generous circles around with the nose. If you find any crunchy parts in the neck, you can always stop and iron them out. And the next time that your chin meets your chest, reversing those circles, going back again in the opposite direction. You can start to marry the breath with the movement here, inhaling as you lift, exhaling as you lower. And inhaling to bring the chin parallel to the floor, exhaling to let the eyes gently open. Then we'll start to warm up through the body. Drop the right hand to the ground, inhale to lift the left hand to the ceiling. Exhale to draw a wide swooping circle with the hand. Just starting to warm up through the upper back, the arms and shoulders. The next time, take the hand out wide, and on the exhale, reach over to the side. So you try not to lean forward or back, just moving from side to side, as if the body's in between 2 panes of glass. Starting to stretch out into the side body, and warm up through the spine. And repeat on the opposite side, inhaling to lift, exhaling to trace that wide swooping circle. And again, after this time, we're going to take it wide and then reach up and over. So you just need to come as far as is comfortable for you. And from here, unravel the legs. Take hold of the inner sides of the ankles, draw the knees up on an inhale. On the exhale, dropping the knees out wide, drawing the soles of the feet together. Just a small butterfly movement as we start to open up through the hips. Then if you want, you can hold at the bottom for a few breaths, rolling the shoulders up, back and down, encouraging the knees to the mat. Bring the hands to the outer edge of the thighs, bring them in, and then roll around to all fours to a tabletop position. You'll have the hands under the shoulders, the knees under the hips, and the back in a long straight line from the crown of the head to the tailbone. We inhale to drop the belly and lift the chest. And on the exhale, rounding out, drawing the navel to spine, spine to ceiling, dropping the crown of the head to the floor. Again, inhaling to lift the chest, feeling a stretch through the front body. Exhaling to round out, feeling that stretch through the spine. From here, you can just move in time with your own breath. Each inhale looking for extension. Each exhale rounding out. As we cat and cow. Then from here, come back to that neutral spine. We'll just warm up through the legs. You're going to inhale to send the right leg out behind the body and exhale to lower, then repeat on the left side. Just starting to warm up through the hamstrings, through the joints in the legs, and getting that forward and backward motion going in the hips. Trying to keep your gaze down through the hands, maintaining that length through the spine. And from here, I'd like you to curl the toes under, walk the hands in towards the knees, lifting the knees, walking the hands up the legs, and slowly come to standing, bringing the head up last. From here, we come to the front of the mat for our sun salutations. We'll begin in Tadasana or mountain pose. You'll have the feet hip distance apart, rolling the shoulders up, back and down. Engage the knees, the thighs by lifting the kneecaps, the core by pulling the navel to the spine. Inhale to lift the fingers, and on the exhale, rain it down. Take a generous bend in the knees this first time as you come to easy Uttanasana or forward fold. We inhale to slide the hands halfway up the shins, coming to the halfway flat back position, and exhale to fold. Taking a generous bend in the knees to get the hands flat to the ground, then inhaling to step back, dropping to the knees, coming to a 3/4 plank position. In a long straight line from the crown of the head down to the knees. On the next out breath, the elbows stay tucked in tight to the sides as we slowly lower. And we inhale to lift the chest and shoulders, keeping a generous bend in the elbows this first time in baby cobra, exhaling to release. We inhale to push back to the 3/4 plank, then we exhale to step the right foot in to meet the right hand, coming to a low lunge position, framing the foot with the hands. We inhale to reach the right fingers to the ceiling, following them with your gaze. Just reach as far as is comfortable for you. Exhale to release, and inhale to step back. Walk the fingers back, straightening the front leg, pulling the toes in towards the torso in half splits. We exhale to our low lunge, and inhale to lift the left fingers towards the ceiling. We exhale to release, and the next inhale steps us back to that 3/4 plank. You've got the option to hold on the knees, or if you'd like to work harder, you can curl the toes under and come to a full plank in a long straight line to the heels. We exhale to shift the weight forward and slowly lower all the way to the mat. Inhaling to lift the chest and shoulders, either keeping that generous bend or straightening out to the full expression of cobra. We exhale to release, and we inhale to push back to the full or 3/4 plank. Exhale to step the left foot to the left hand and drop the back knee. We inhale to lift the left fingers. We exhale to release. Walking the fingertips backwards, we straighten the front leg, coming to half splits. We exhale to our low lunge. We inhale to lift the right fingers. We exhale to release. The next inhale steps us back to the full or the 3/4 plank. And we exhale to send the hips up, back and down and come to downward facing dog. You can pedal the feet out here if you want to release tension through the calves. And eventually finding stillness with the feet hip distance apart, the hands shoulder width, the weight equally balanced between the two. You want a long straight line from the hips to the wrists. If you need to bend your knees to maintain that, that's fine. We inhale to walk the hands in towards the feet. And we exhale to find our forward fold, either straight-legged or a generous bend in the knees. We inhale to find the halfway flat back position. And we exhale to forward fold. Next inhale sends the hands wide as we come all the way to standing. Hands meet overhead in prayer. Slide down the midline towards the heart on an exhale as we walk back to the front of the mat for a second round. Again, inhaling to extend, we're reaching even higher. We exhale to forward fold. We inhale to find the halfway lift, sliding the hands halfway up the shins, or you can leave the fingertips on the ground if you can keep straight back in that position. We exhale to fold, and we inhale to step back to the full or 3/4 plank. We exhale to slowly lower. If you'd like to work harder, you can add a little hover an inch above the ground before eventually releasing all the way down. We inhale to lift to the baby or the full cobra. We exhale to release. The next inhale pushes us back to the version of plank we're working with today. We exhale to step the right foot in to the right hand. You can drop the back knee or you can keep it lifted if you like to work harder, squeezing the inner thighs together as we inhale to lift the right fingers. We exhale to release. Dropping the back knee, we inhale to walk back to half splits. Fred's come to say hello. We inhale to our low lunge and inhale to reach the left fingers upwards. We exhale to release and inhale to step back to the full or 3/4 plank. We exhale to slowly lower. Again, you can add that little hover if you're building strength in the triceps and core. And inhaling to lift up to the full or the baby cobra. It's quite hard when there's a dog underneath you to lower back down as well. We exhale to release and inhale to push back to the full or 3/4 plank. We exhale to step the left foot into the left hand and inhale to lift the left fingers. You've got the same options with the back leg, lifted or lowered. Exhaling to release, dropping the back knee, inhaling to half splits. We exhale to our low lunge and inhale to lift the right fingertips. We exhale to release and inhale to step back to the full or 3/4 plank. Exhaling to downward facing dog. Encouraging the heels to the mat and the chest to the thighs. We inhale to walk the hands in to meet the feet. Then we exhale. Okay, so we're going to start with a downward facing dog. You've got the option, if you get sore shoulders or wrists, you can always do this against a wall instead. So I'm going to demonstrate against my cupboard. You'll have the hands about shoulder height. You want to be wide enough back that you're slightly rounding out through the shoulders. Then you send the hips back and down until you're in a long straight line from the hips to the wrists. You've got the option to do this against a wall if it's a bit easier on the shoulders. Otherwise, you can come with me to the mat. You're going to roll down to the ground and walk out to a plank position just to measure out your downward facing dog. Then send the hips up, back and down. You'll have the hands shoulder width apart, the feet hip distance, the weight balanced equally between the two and a long straight line from the hips to the wrists. You can bend the knees if you need to maintain that. You're going to inhale to find length from the wrists to the hips. Exhale to encourage the heels to the ground. And we're going to inhale to lift the right foot to the ceiling, stacking the hips, pulling the toes up, and flexing the foot, pointing the toes down. You're going to bend the knee and exhale to draw the knee toward the nose, shifting the weight forwards. We inhale to extend the leg and exhale to bend the knee and draw the right knee to the left elbow. Inhaling to extend, exhaling, draw the left knee to the left elbow. We inhale to extend and exhale to release. Other side. Inhale to lift the right foot, stacking the hips, lifting the foot as high as you can and flexing the foot, pointing the toes down towards the mat to align the hips. You bend the knee and exhale, draw right knee towards the nose, shifting the weight forwards. Exhale, inhale to extend, exhale, right knee to left elbow. Inhaling to extend, right knee to right elbow. We inhale to lift, exhale to replace the foot. And take one last breath here. And inhale to walk the hands in towards the feet. And then slowly roll up. From here, we're going to come to Virabhadrasana 2 or Warrior 2. You can take a little wrist circle to release any tension in the meantime if you need to. And then we're going to come to the front of the mat. You're going to keep the right foot forward and step the left foot back, turning the left foot out by about 90 degrees. You want to be wide enough that you feel a light pull on the inner thigh. You're going to bring the hands to the hips and square the hips over the wide edge of the mat, inhaling to extend and exhaling to bend the front knee. We inhale to lift and exhale to lower. You want your front knee to be over the ankle. This time we stay down. You can either keep that deep bend in the knee or you can lift up to a lighter level and keep the hands on the hips or inhale to extend the arms out in line with the shoulders. Keep your gaze forward or bring it through the middle finger of the right hand. Each inhale looking for length, each exhale trying to sink a little deeper. You're trying to squeeze the shoulder blades in together and down the back. You're trying to draw the inner thighs together to help with balance and stability. You're trying to keep the shoulders stacked above the hips. You're engaging the core, pulling the navel towards the spine. And really breathe into it here. Trying to actively push into the knife edge of the back foot. And inhale, straighten out. Roll the shoulders, send that back hip back a little just to release any stress. And then using the same leg position, inhale to extend the arms, drop the knee, then bend the right elbow and lower it to the right thigh. Left hand can come to the hip, extend up overhead, or you can reach it up above the head so you're in a long straight line from the hand to the foot. You can either keep the gaze down towards the bottom leg or up towards the underside of the elbow. This is side angle. Each inhale you're looking for a really long line from the hand to the wrist. If you want to work harder, you can release the hand that's resting on the thigh. If you can, hovering the fingers an inch above the ground. This already helps strengthen into the core, help with your balance work. You can press the hand into the calf to help with that bit of stability. Again, squeezing the inner thighs together. Trying to find that length through the side body. Trying to keep the knee lowered. One last breath. And inhale, straighten up. Roll shoulders again, send the hip back. And from here we come to Trikonasana or triangle. Inhale to bring the arms out in line with the shoulders. Exhale to reach towards the wall in front of you, keeping the legs straight. Inhale to lift and exhale to reach. Inhale to lift, then release the right hand to the right thigh. And then keep the back straight as if it's against a wall. You can hold on the thigh, the calf, or come down to the foot. You can even release to the ground if you want to. The important thing is to try and keep your back long and straight as if you're pressing against a wall. Each inhale, trying to pull the left shoulder back and push the right hip forward on the exhale. You're trying to keep the inner thighs squeezing in together, trying to find length from fingertip to fingertip. If you're struggling here, you can always release the top hand to the hip. The gaze can be either through the top hand or the lower, slightly more balancing and stabilising if you're looking down towards the ground. And again, if you want to work harder into your core, you can always keep that bottom hand hovering an inch above the ground. One last breath. And as if someone's taking you by the hand, you inhale to lift back up. And turn the toes in, and then turn the heels in, so your toes are pointing out to the narrow edges of the mat. Inhale to lift the hands up in line with the shoulders. Exhale to roll the shoulders up, back and down. Bring the palms to face to the ceiling. You come to 5-pointed star. So you're trying to encourage the inner thighs together, trying to draw the navel towards the spine, staying engaged through the core. Trying to draw the shoulders back and down, squeezing the shoulder blades down the spine, trying to keep the hands level with the shoulders, the chin forward as if balanced upon a shelf. Trying to stay engaged through the legs by drawing the heels together as well. From here, we're going to move into our goddess pose. Going to exhale to bend the elbows and the knees and drop down to a goddess squat. Bring the palms to face directly forwards, squeezing the shoulder blades back in together, drawing the knees towards the wall behind you. You can either hold here to the front, or you can exhale to draw your gaze through to your right hand. Inhale to center. Take a breath cycle, lowering down on the exhale, and inhale to take your gaze through your left hand. Inhale to center. Exhale to straighten the legs, coming back to that 5-pointed star with the palms to the ceiling. And turn the back toes in by 90 degrees. We find our warrior 2 on the opposite side. Exhaling to bend the knee, inhaling to straighten up. If you're struggling with the shoulders here, I know they've been up for a while, you can always release them to the hips for a beat. And we're going to hold down. Again, level 1's with that lighter bend, level 2 sinking deeper. Trying to keep the hands at shoulder height if you can. Gaze either through the middle finger of the left hand or out through centre. Squeezing the shoulders in together, drawing the inner thighs together to keep that stability and balance. Each inhale looking for length from the crown of the head to the tailbone. Each exhale trying to sink a little deeper. Here you're strengthening through the legs, the glutes, the core, the shoulders, stretching the inner thigh and the chest. Inhale, straighten, take a shoulder roll, send the hip back. And then again, we're going to come back to our side angle. Coming back to that same leg position, arms at shoulder height, bending the front knee, bending the left elbow, and releasing it to the left thigh. Right hand to the hip, up to the ceiling, or extending up in line with the side body. And again, you can keep the elbow on the thigh or release the hand if you're strengthening into the core. Gaze up through the elbow or down through the bottom foot. Each inhale looking for length from the bottom foot to the top hand. Each exhale trying to sink a little deeper in the hips, trying to engage the core. So here again, you're strengthening through the legs, through the core, through the shoulders. You're getting a deeper stretch into the inner thigh and into the side body. And we inhale, straighten back up. And again, shoulder roll, send the hip back. Inhale, straighten the arms. Exhale to reach towards the opposite wall. Keeping the legs straight if you can. Inhale to extend, exhale to reach. Inhale to extend and release that hand down. And again, you can hold on the thigh, the shin, the foot, or you can bring the hands to the ground. And again, you can always hover if you're building strength in the core. You're trying to keep your top hand pointing up towards the ceiling. And your gaze can be through either hand. And again, you've got to really keep that focus on keeping your back as flat as if it's against a wall. You have got the opportunity while you're at home to actually do it against a wall as well. You can actually really feel the difference when you do that. So here you're again strengthening the legs, strengthening to the core. This is really good for opening through the chest, giving you loads of space into the lungs. Strengthening through the back. And we inhale, straighten out. Turn the heels in, palms to ceiling, and come back to that 5-pointed star. Engaging through the core, drawing the heels and the inner thighs together to stay engaged through the legs. Drawing the shoulders together and down to stay engaged through the shoulders. Then we drop down to our goddess, bending the elbows and the knees, palms come forward. Then we're going to heel toe in a little. I'm going to start to drop down. It's up to you how much you need to heel toe in. You can feel a certain point when your hips start to lower down a little bit more comfortably. Seeing as you're at home, you can use a block or any kind of prop you've got around, a hefty book or anything. And you can always sit on that if it's more comfortable for you than holding in the squat. And to bring the elbows to the inner thighs and the hands to prayer. Then you're going to try and squeeze the inner thighs into the elbows. You're going to press the palms into each other to push the elbows into the inner thighs. This is a goblet squat. It's a really nice traditional position. Getting a really deep stretch into the inner thighs, the glutes. You can take it in turns to shift the weight from heel to heel, or you can just hold at the bottom. Trying to pull the shoulders back and down, staying open through the chest. Trying to stay long and straight through the spine. Got some little friends coming to smell me. Okay, so from here, feel free to grab yourselves a little drink. I get slightly mauled by the dogs every time I come to a seated position. But when you're ready, we are going to come to a to a side bend. Oh, they're so friendly. Just really want to join in. Yeah. So we're going to come to a side bend. You might want that block or that book handy by the side. Sorry, they really are in the way. So yeah, when you can, come to a cross-legged position. You're going to have your right leg crossed in front of the left, so your right foot's at the front. You can either stay cross-legged or come to easy pose, where you've got the heels stacked both on the ground. You're going to drop your right hand, inhale to lift your left hand and reach over to the side. Inhaling to extend and exhaling to reach over. Exactly that same move as we were doing in the warm-up. And we're going to hold over. You can hold here. You've got the option, if you want to bring the gaze to the underside of the elbow. You can always bring your elbow to rest on that block or book or any kind of apparatus you have. You can start to release, bending through the elbow and releasing it down towards the ground. Just come as far as is comfortable for you. This can be quite intense into the side body and into the back. You're trying to keep the body balanced as if it's between two panes of glass, so you're not leaning forward or back. If it's too much with the gaze to the underside of the elbow, you can always bring it down to the ground or straight ahead, or anywhere in between. Trying to encourage the knees to stay pulling down towards the mat. Each inhale, trying to lengthen through the side body. Going to exhale to release. Repeat on the other side. So you're going to reverse the cross of your ankles and exhale to reach over. Inhale to extend and exhale to reach. Inhale to extend and we hold over. And again, you can hold here. You can bring the elbow to the block. Or again, you can move the block out of the way and bend deeply through the elbow, possibly bring it down to the ground. Gaze through the underside of the top elbow to the ground or anywhere in between. Each inhale looking for length through the side body from the hip to the fingertips. Each exhale trying to reach a little bit further over. Trying to encourage the knees towards the mat. So you're strengthening through the core and the back, stretching through the side body. Exhale to release, sliding the hand underneath. And send the legs out long. We're trying the same move I tried before that went wrong. Move the fleshy part of the buttocks out of the way. Inhale to reach fingers to ceiling and exhale to fold forwards. Inhale to lift, exhale to reach forwards. We inhale to lift and we exhale to hold down. So you can have the hands resting on the thighs, the shins, the ground, or you've got the flexibility through the hamstrings. You can take hold of the outside edges of the feet. Each inhale, you're trying to draw the crown of the head towards the feet. Each exhale, releasing the torso towards the thighs. If you need to, you can always bend the knees here, or if you'd like to keep that deep stretch into the hamstrings, you could take the feet a little wider apart if you need something a little bit easier. So here you're stretching out through the lower back, the glutes and the hamstrings. Take one last breath. And inhale, slowly roll back up. Roll the shoulders. And from here, we're going to come to a side plank. So come over onto your right hand side. You're going to have the hand either directly under the shoulder. Option one, you can keep the bottom knee bent. You can always drop down to the elbow if you prefer as well, keeping the elbow under the shoulder if you're taking that option. Option one, bottom knee's bent, with the shin on the ground. Option two, you'll have the feet stacked on top of each other. You're going to try and draw the waist upwards. You want a long straight line in the lower body. Hand can stay on hip or extend up towards the ceiling. If you want to work harder, you can lift the top foot and come to a star position. You can take the gaze through the top hand, the bottom hand, or anywhere in between. I find this really off-balancing, I think, because it is quite strengthening at the same time, so I like to keep my gaze down through the bottom hand. So you're trying to stay really strong through the body, engaging through the core, trying to keep that core engagement, to keep the body as still as you can whilst you're holding here. Exhale to release the top foot, top hand, and lower the hips to the mat. We're going to come straight round to the opposite side. So flipping around, same options. You can be on elbow or hand, it's directly under the shoulder. Bottom knee can be down, feet can be stacked. And to try and keep that long straight line through the lower body. And if you want to work harder, you can lift the top leg. So here, you're strengthening through the back, through the core, through the shoulders, possibly also through the inner and outer thigh. It's a great full body exercise, planking, and side planks really get into the waist as well. Exhale to release, softly lowering the hips. And from here, we're going to come to a child's pose. You're going to bring the toes together, the knees as wide as the mat, send the arms out long. I get mauled by a dog here, so it does take me a minute to get settled down, but feel free to find yourself that child's pose without me. So you've got the option to just hold here. If you want a more restive pose, you can swim the hands around so they're beside the calves with the palms to the ceiling. Child's pose is lovely for giving you a really nice little stretch out through the glutes, through the knees, through the lower back. It's just a really nurturing position. I think we all need a little bit of that right now. You might be enjoying your child's pose. I'm currently stuck still cuddling my dog. He's just so happy to see me on the ground. Okay, and from here, you've got the option to stay in your child's pose, taking it as a purely restive position, or you can stretch a little deeper into the shoulders, which can be quite nice after you've had a side plank. If you're doing this, you'll bend your right elbow and keep the elbow really active, pulling it up towards the ceiling. And you'll slide your left hand underneath your right shoulder. You can deepen or soften this stretch by sliding the hand further away or drawing it back towards the shoulder. Find whatever's comfortable for you and just breathe into that shoulder stretch. And from here, we're going to change sides. You're going to inhale, slide back up to center, and exhale to repeat on the other side. Again, remembering to keep that left elbow really active, so you're pushing up and out of the ground through the palm, pointing the elbow up towards the ceiling. You can adjust how deep or shallow that stretch is by sliding the hand further in or further away. Then we inhale to come back up. We're going to turn the legs out to one side. Then we're going to roll down onto our backs. So we're going to come to a bridge position next. You're going to have the heels up close to the glutes, about hip distance apart. If you want, you can always use that block or that book. You can wedge it in between your knees and squeeze the knees against it, so you're strengthening through the inner thigh. Going to inhale to lift the hips and exhale to lower. So it's an inhale to roll up and curling the spine one vertebra at a time as you lift up into your bridge. And you exhale to slowly lower. You can always stay here in the moving bridge if you want to, or this time you can hold at the top. You're aiming for a long straight line from the knees to the shoulders. You can roll the shoulders to either side to give you a little more space, interlacing the hands under the back. And this gives you the opportunity to lift the hips a little higher. Keep your gaze straight up towards the ceiling, protecting through the neck. If you've got the hands interlaced, you're trying to squeeze the fingertips together and draw the palms apart, strengthen through the shoulders. You're trying to keep the knees, the hips and the ankles all in line, so you're not letting the knees fall out to the side or in together, unless you're actively squeezing against that prop to strengthen through the inner thigh. And exhale to slowly roll back down. And from here, you're going to hug the knees in towards the chest. You can always hold here, or you can exhale to draw nose to knee. If you've done that, you might be able to catch hold of the outer edges of the feet or of the big toes for a deeper stretch into the back and also strengthening through the core. And exhale to release. You're going to keep the knees bent. You're going to bring the hands out in line with the shoulders. You're going to cross your left knee over your right thigh and lift the right thigh up, flexing the feet, pointing the toes to the ceiling. You can hold here, or you can interlace the fingers behind the thigh and encourage that thigh in closer. And again, you can hold here, or you can press the elbow into the inner thigh. You can exhale to draw the nose towards the knee. This will help you to strengthen the core at the same time as you're stretching through the hip and the outer glutes in our reverse pigeon. So you keep the feet flexed and pointing upwards to protect through the knees. One last breath. Exhale to release head to mat, unravel the legs and take a quick full body stretch, stretching the toes and fingers as far apart from each other as you can, and repeat on the other side. This time crossing the right ankle over the left thigh, lifting the left knee and flexing the feet, pointing the toes up. Again, you can interlace behind the leg for a deeper stretch. You can also press the elbow into the inner thigh to deepen it further still. And again, you can draw the nose towards the knee on an exhale if you're also building up that core strength at the same time as stretching out through the glutes and the outer hip. Take one last breath. Exhale to release the head to the mat. Inhale to unravel the arms and legs. Then bring the knees over the hips, arms out in line with the shoulders. Drop the knees out to the left and the head to the right. Trying to keep the shoulders in contact with the ground. If you'd like to make it deeper, you can straighten the bottom leg and bring the hand to the outer edge of the thigh, encouraging the knee towards the floor. You should be getting a deep stretch through the outer hip and a stretch into the lower back. And arms come back in line with the shoulders, knees together, engage the core as you draw the knees back through center and change sides. Knees to the right, head to the left. Again, trying to keep the shoulders in contact with the ground. You can straighten the bottom leg and draw your hand to the outer edge of the top thigh for a deeper stretch. Twists are also really good for your spine, stretching out through the vertebrae. Give you a little massage through the internal organs. One last breath. And bring hands back in line with the shoulders, knees together, engage the core as you draw the knees through center. And from here, hug the knees in, and we'll just take a little knee circle. And to bring the hands to the knees and squeeze them together as you gently roll the knees around in some small circles. And reverse the direction of those circles. Just massaging the lower. So I have a few technical difficulties with dogs here as well. But yes, your options, you can always rest your head on that block or book. There will be opportunity in a second to grab any pillows, etc. that you might want from around the house. So I'm about to take a moment here to thank the dog. So if you do want any pillows or blankets, anything to make your Shavasana a little bit more comfortable than it might be normally in a class, you're at home, go and get them. You can take anything that you want. I'm just giving a little treat to my co-workers here to say thank you for their help and their, visible signs of affection throughout today's yoga. Okay, so when you're ready, I'm going to come to Shavasana, our best and most beautiful pose. So you're going to roll down onto your back. You're going to bring the legs out long towards the bottom corners of the mat, letting the feet fall naturally out to the sides. The arms come out long by the sides with the palms to the ceiling, and the shoulders roll up, back and down to open up through the heart space. The pelvis tilts slightly upward and the chin slightly down to give you length from the crown of the head to the tailbone. You could be more comfortable if you have lower back niggles, with the knees bent, the feet as wide as the mat, letting the knees fall in together. Find whatever is comfortable for you. Make any last minute adjustments that you need to become entirely comfortable. And whenever you are, you can allow the eyes to softly close. If you become uncomfortable at any time, you can come back to your full state of awareness simply by opening your eyes. With your eyes closed, the external world starts to fade from your awareness, and your focus turns to your inner senses of thought and feeling. You deserve this relaxing experience. You can release yourself from all responsibilities for the next few minutes. Give yourself permission to enjoy this peaceful time. If you find your thoughts drifting, you can simply return your attention to the sound of my voice, and I will guide you back to a place of inner stillness and relaxation. Now, take a long, slow, deep inhale and release that breath. Again, take a long, smooth, deep breath in and let that breath go. Take another deep breath in and exhale completely. Notice how calming it is to breathe this way. Notice the way your body settles with the rhythm of this breath and the feelings of relaxation beginning to spread throughout your body. Continue to breathe slowly, deeply, and gently, allowing your thoughts to become lighter, allowing that feeling of relaxation to deepen through your body. In and out, and deeper you go. In and out, allowing the external world to gradually fade all on its own. In and out. You are now in a state of relaxation, and I would like you to start scanning through the body from the crown of the head to the tips of the toes, not trying to change anything, just noticing how each part of your body is feeling. The feelings of comfort or discomfort. Notice what you can feel in contact with your body. Air, clothes, the ground. Just making your own way down through the body. You can either maintain that long, smooth breath pattern, or you can allow the breath to fall into a natural, tidal rhythm. We will now begin to work our way back up, relaxing through the body as we go. I'd like you to sense or imagine a warm ball of glowing golden light energy just below the soles of your feet. This ball of energy radiates feelings of relaxation and soothes the body as it moves through, warming the body, emanating feelings of peace and of comfort. As it moves through the body, although it isn't diminished in any way, it leaves the parts of the body it has touched filled with golden light. I'd like you to imagine that golden ball of light sliding into your body through the soles of your feet. Feelings of relaxation spread throughout your feet as the light passes through and into the heel, into each individual toe, the top of your foot, and then into the ankle. All feelings of tension just melting away as the golden energy moves up into the calf and shin, soothing, releasing. It slides through the knees, relaxing, easing any tension, and moves into the thighs. That golden energy filling the backs of the thighs, the fronts of the thighs. You can feel the muscles in your legs releasing as any rigidity leaves your legs, and the light energy fills them completely. Golden energy bringing relaxation and ease through the hindquarters as it moves up through the hip and pelvic area, spreading comfort and feelings of peace. As you relax through the body, the mind also relaxes. Your thoughts are becoming lighter as your body releases tension. Now feel that ball of energy begin to move up from the hips into the lower back, soothing, releasing all stress as it moves up along the spine, radiating feelings of relaxation throughout the entire back as it moves upwards. As your back relaxes, feel it melting into the mat beneath you. The golden energy rises up through to the front of your body now, relaxing through the lower belly, the solar plexus, in and around all of the ribs, and moving up through the chest until your entire trunk is filled with golden light energy, soothing, spreading relaxation throughout all your internal organs as it releases all tension from the front of your body. The golden light slides into the shoulders and you feel them relax as the energy soothes and releases any tension from the fronts, tops, and backs of your shoulders. Golden energy is now flowing down both of your arms, through the elbows and down into the hands, into each individual finger, filling them with feelings of comfort and of ease. Relaxing the palms of your hands, the backs of your hands. Tension releases from the wrists and you relax through the lower arms and feel all tension ease in the upper arms. You can follow that glowing ball of energy as it travels back through the shoulders and into the neck, warming, soothing, releasing through the cervical spine and throughout the throat. Golden light now travels up through your face, relaxing the muscles around your mouth, soothing your cheeks, releasing any tension at all from around the eyes. You feel the area across your brow and forehead soften and release as the golden energy spreads comfort and peace throughout your face. Feel the light spread through your entire head, easing the scalp as it fills you up entirely to the crown of your head. Your entire body is now full of relaxing golden light energy, and any remaining tension from anywhere in your body can be released with your out-breath. Stay here for as long as you would like, enjoying the feeling of peace and total relaxation. Whenever you are ready to finish your Shavasana, you can start to draw your attention back to your external surroundings, wiggling through the fingers and toes, moving or stretching in any way that feels comfortable or good to you, eventually drawing the knees in to the chest, rolling over onto your right hand side, then pushing back up to a comfortable seated position. Namaste.